Yes, good day everybody. Welcome to SpeedGaming 5, and this is going to be an interesting matchup. Today we have a Link to the Past randomizer. It's actually the league playoffs between Team OK Game and Team Moyai. For Team OK Game, TwoC will be playing, and for Team Moyai, Glan will be playing. I am Wired Wiki. I am here accompanied by Don. Don, how you doing?
Oh, I'm alright. Got up early, watched some rando, played some rando, and I'm here to commentate some rando, so it's just been a whole day of Link to the Past randomizer for me. And I'm excited to commentate these two today.
Yeah, same for me, honestly. Well, I haven't played Rando all day today, but I'm really curious to see how this one is playing out. This is actually the first match of these two teams, and this is actually we're playing in the Pendant of Wisdom category, so it's casual boots. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love casual boots. It's one of my favorite game modes. Ever since the game first came out, all you've ever really wanted to do is go fast, and with all like the glitches we've discovered since then, the game went down from like 2-hour average to like 130, 140 average. And one part of that is quick swap being added. Another part being able to start with boots like this game mode is.
Yes, so indeed boots make everything faster. They have to go through standard though. It's not open from the start. It's alright. Wow, that's a nice first item to find.
Yeah, if they're thinking they could also try for that 50-50 bomb right away, but with boots you don't really need it for the back of escape. That's more if it was just like standard, not boot start. A quick map check. I think I saw a red and blue pendant on Tower of Hera and in Desert.
Yeah, Desert is our green pendant today.
But yeah, like with the standard modes, ooh, flippers too. With standard modes, you just have this little opening sequence, takes about like 5-6 minutes, and
Slightly faster boots though.
it
But they can. I reckon they can get 5 minutes.
like I like standard modes just because in open mode, doing like the Hyrule Castle is kind of a gamble. But since you're both doing it anyway, it kind of like takes that out of the sequence, and it gives you a little bit more to start with, which you can plan routing from there.
That's definitely true. I agree with you on that one.
Also with like the open, the casual boots, it's a lot of like NMG playstyle for this opening sequence. Just how you kill the guards, setting up the spin slashes in certain ways to ensure the fastest kind of kill on the guards. And then you just have the boots to make it just a little bit faster and more fun. So far with the flippers and glove start, some people could go to the Zora era early if they want to gamble. There's nothing on Zora. Otherwise, nothing really opens up yet. Otherwise, they could also sequence break the old man, but that's not really likely right away either. Just for a saving quick point for later. So Glan has to be very careful. He's down to half a heart. Going to the back. If you die in this section, you go all the way back to Zelda's cell and have to run her all the way back to the front here. Or as soon as you open this door, I'm not sure if it's as soon as you open it or when you go through it, but it creates a new save point for when you die in the escape itself, in the back, in the sewer. There's also a couple of hearts here he can pick up. As long as a rat doesn't just body him, and he should be safe now.
Yeah, it should not be an issue at all at this point anymore. I do wonder what we're gonna see in this Dark Cross chest. It's just a map. It's always, eh.
Well, that just means that there's 3 items in the back of escape, which we'll be picking up as well on the way out. Also with this game mode, just another part about this little opening sequence. When I was playing with TwoC for practice, he said he actually grinded this out, just the escape itself, to try and minimize the time he needs to complete it, because since this is all execution based for the most part, if you can get a couple seconds advantage on your opponent just in the first 5 minutes, that could carry a lead to the late game too. And just a whole lot of bombs for Kakariko and South Shore areas. We can get the bonk rocks right away.
That's also the advantage of having casual boots. Oh, it's the
Ooh.
mirror. Okay.
All right, now that makes the gamble up the mountain a little bit more worthwhile, seeing as how they can get to Tower of Hair now. But with it being a pendant, I doubt they want to go to it right away. Ooh, bush crab dropping bombs. That'd be nice if they didn't already have 9 on their way out of escape. And both checking the lumberjack. No surprises today with just a quarter heart on the ledge.
That's at least one less reason to do Aga 1.
Yeah, one downside to casual boots is that you actually start with half the stuff you need to do Aga. And Kane's Mario. I'm not sure how I would feel about finding Canis Mario early, since it opens up just like 2 parts of 2 different dungeons in Mire and Turtle Rock. So once they get Dark World access to one of those locations, depending on how low their heart count is, it might dissuade them from going there. Otherwise, it's kind of also load up your mind to not have to try and find it for those dungeons later as well.
Yeah, we know, because we know 2 of the 3 pendants, so we know that they need to beat at least one of those dungeons at this point.
And Moon Pearl. And we got enough money for the bottle merchant as well. So they're really close to having a Dark World access. Either need another mitt or a hammer. And if they find it in town, that will also probably cause a roading divergence.
Yeah, if they find it indeed in Kakariko, like, they have a lot of options at that point.
Glan showing us a spin speed outside of the blind hut itself. I've never seen that before. Quite interesting. Pesky little shovel and a bottle while you're in town as well.
That at least doesn't make Stick Kid like a little bit of an isolated play later on. Although with the flute, it's not that bad throughout in, but you rather want to sweep it all in one go.
Yeah, now that the runner has the lamp just yet. But I agree, it's something you really want to find early, and then the fairy inside of it is also relevant for later. Allows them to do a little bit more risky plays earlier. Now, nearing the end of the Kakariko village, shopping mall, or whatever you want to call it. This whole area with a whole bunch of prizes you can grab. 5 hearts is actually kind of comfy to have for this early game. I like having 5 hearts for going to South Shore to ensure that you can't get 2-shot by the crabs down there.
Yeah, the red boomerang on the race game, I don't think either of our runners are gonna pick it up.
Red Meringue is my favorite of the 2 boomerangs, but I don't think it is worth it to pick it up at all. Not at all. So Glan taking that glove and running straight down to South Shore. I never timed this out, but I always assumed that this was still slightly slower than going to save and quit, but he's proving me wrong here.
Yeah, definitely in these kind of races, like every second can count. So like being like 2 or 3 seconds faster there could make a difference.
Yeah, with like this level of play too, seconds really do matter in the end. Cause like one like missed bomb later can be the 2-3 seconds that can cost you the game from going from like a tie to a loss. They have a lot of money, and they do have the flippers. They could farm the last amount of money outside this cave here and ensure Hazora money for when they go up there after. And Glan did pull the rock up.
Yeah, it looks like Glan is actually gonna do exactly that, which makes a lot of sense.
It'll be interesting if 2C does the same thing, or if he just kind of gambles on things on Zora, because Glan had 30 more rupees going into that than 2C did. In my opinion, Glan did the right call here and went into Ice Rod Cave first, just in case that's extra money, before going inside here to get the last amount of money he needs. But I guess 2C's plan is he will probably set up a water walk, which will save him some time here compared to Glan just swimming down.
I do wonder if 2C is gonna go for Hobo then, or just straight going to Waterfall Fairy and Zora area.
I think they're probably planning on doing both anyway. I really don't mind which order you do it in. But some people like just going to the waterfall first, just so you have the water walking for longer. Then TwoC took the long way around for having that water walk. If you jump into the waterfall outside of the Ice Rod Cave at the diagonal, when you jump down from the waterfall, or swim down from the waterfall, that's when you'll gain your water walking then too. So it's just a little longer of a run. Nothing on Lake Hilly Island. This early game is really just stacking in them with all the hearts in the world. But not a lot of, like, current progression. Just some nice convenience items to have for later. With the mirror.
Well, speaking of your progression, there's the hammer on Zora Ledge.
Alright, well, we'll see if players prefer starting from the north and working their way south, or starting at Hype Cave and working their way around. I think if I was in their position, I think I would prefer starting at Hype Cave and work my way around, either to Digging Game or maybe to like Catfish or Pod. Just because I don't have the information of what's a crystal in Dark World. Otherwise, starting from the north and working my way south and around is also something that I would like to do as well.
I mean,
Seeing as how we
considering
do have 2 pendants, so better chance that Thieves Town is a crystal.
yes, true. But what I was about to say, considering their rupee count, they probably won't go all the way up to Digging Game unless there's like some money in Hype Cave right here.
Yeah, I forgot about that for the economy for Digging Game and Chest Game. Our 5/6s being Thieves Town and Swamp, and our last pendant being on Misery Mire. So now I like what Glan's doing. It's a completable crystal, and he doesn't have money for chess games. He's gonna find that out, and TwoC finds the money he needs. And the blue mail. And the red mail.
Wow.
Alright, we're as safe can be. With how many hearts they have, plus a fairy in tow.
And Glan straight dropping into Thieves Town.
Yeah, I really like this. It's a completable crystal. You have the hammer, so you don't have to worry about the chest in the back. So, might as well just get out of the way now. We have the sword. Well, I was gonna say a sword and boots, but yeah, the sword to ensure the script, and then boots just makes this whole dungeon faster. So this dungeon's not really gonna get any faster if you get more items. Outside of like an upgraded sword to kill the enemies in the back in one hit rather than 2 to 4.
Oh, there you have the lamp on Stumpy. Okay.
Ooh, that opens up a lot of light Death Mountain, but with it being a pendant Tower of Hera, right now it's just a bunch of items with who knows what to gain. So what I see from the crystal layout and the items they have, I kind of feel something's going to be in the pyramid. Because you have early access, well, obviously, to Thieves Town, being probably the first dungeon you complete in most scenarios. But they're one item away from completing Swamp Palace. So I assume they're going to get that hook shot fairly early. If it's not somewhere in this early Dark World, easily on the mountain.
Meanwhile, have we seen anything important in Thieves Town yet? I don't think so, right?
I haven't seen anything. Well, Glan didn't miss too much in the chess game, with it just being a piece of heart. He's kind of playing with fire, being at one hit away from death around all these enemies that can one-shot him. But he's probably going to collect these hearts. Well, feels comfortable with 3 hearts to get out and fade the boss on the script.
I mean, they still do have the fairy in the potion in the bottles.
Oh, that's right. So I feel like TwoC here is going to gain a little bit of time on Glan, seeing as how he has a little bit more safety going into this than Glan did, where he got hit a couple times early, and so he had to be a little bit more careful in the back of escape, where TwoC can probably just damage boost through most of it if he wants to. Alright, and a nice script fight to Glan, but nothing in Thieves Town. So I imagine he's just gonna go finish the rest C-shaped house in the bombable hut, then work his way to Hype Cave to get his items there. Seeing as how he doesn't have money for a digging game or chess game. So that'll be weighing on his mind, orphaning those later. TwoC lining up with the God Pixel, but the enemies didn't line up for him to allow him to go through.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Glen's picking up the 5 rupees, so Glen can actually do chess game. That's actually smart to remember that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to orphan it. Because like I said, he doesn't really have immediate access to, like, more progression right now. He has to go and find the mirror that... Or not the mirror. The lamp for logical access to Death Mountain. So I'm really interested in where Glan goes after Hype Cave, if he wants to work his way over to Pod or Catfish, or if he will go up Death Mountain.
Yeah, same for 2C, by the way. I wonder what 2C is gonna do after Thieves Town.
Because he already worked his way on over to the digging game. I feel like he's probably going to go up, maybe do the first part of Skull Woods. Otherwise, he can quickly check Bumper Cave, Graveyard Ledge, and King's Tomb. And then also go up the mountain right after.
Seems like Glan is going up the mountain at this point.
Glenn taking a leisurely stroll with the old man. I know you move faster when you are carrying an item with him, so I was just curious if it was worth it to quick swap to the Candace and Maria and grab it, and that's Titan's Mitts, which really doesn't open up anything besides the Smith Chain and Dark Death Mountain. Another safety on top of Spectacle Rock and nothing in the statue room in Skullwoods. So yeah, TwoC making sure not to leave too much behind by going to Skullwoods after Thieves Town. Glenn probably just going to check these first two chests in Tower of Terror and then just mirror out and do the rest of the Death Mountain. Oh, he's going to go climb it. That's a slight gamble with it being a pendant. But it's a fairly quick checks. As long as he doesn't get the small key and it tells him, hey, there's an item down in the basement.
Seems like the front of Skullwood was just empty.
Oh, and there's the bow on top of Tower of Terror.
It seems like that gamble is paying off for Glan.
Yeah, that is huge. He has a direction to go after this. After he clears Death Mountain, he can go do Pod Eastern combo. So yeah, that was a huge find there.
It does depend on where the other bow is.
Yeah, for all we know, there could just be like another bow in Death Mountain, and then that's just his silvers up top, which will still give Glenn an advantage. Cape inside the Graveyard Ledge, but there was nothing on Bumper Cave with it just being a big 20. Then Glan did find both items, so there's no items in the basement of Tower of Hera for anyone to gamble on. So we got a question in chat. What does the player's wisdom thing mean? So in the playoffs, each member of the team is assigned a pendant when they sign up for it, and it changes which modes they're going to play. So the green pendant players will be racing open mode. The red pendant player, the wisdom player, will be playing casual boots. Or the blue pendant will be doing a pick ban, not really a pick ban, but a draft mode phase for their seed. TwoC finding the mushroom and turning in right away for not a lot to gain. And the Ether Medallion inside the Paradox Cave. And the Fire Rod. And Catfish with nothing nice. So Glan has a lot of items, which can lead into 4 crystal dungeons to clear. I was expecting just the hookshot to be the next major progression item, but Glan finding everything else. We still may go on an ice rod hunt for Turtle Rock.
It honestly seems more and more likely that that's gonna be the case at this point. Never mind.
Alright, well, we are 1 item away from go mode. Or 2 items, because they also need to find a sword. Yeah, just need to find that hookshot for go mode at this point. And whatever medallion opens up to Turtle Rock.
I mean, if it's Ether, they can actually go in there and full clear it.
And it's Ether!
Well then, might as well go in right away, I guess.
Yeah, it's still searching for items, you're not in go mode, you're already up here. There's no better time to do this, I feel. As long as he's comfortable with Hammer Trinex. And it should be fine. No, inside his bottles though, he only has a fairy and a red potion, so he's not gonna have extra magic for the boss if he misses a few ice rod shots or fire rod shots.
TwoC also decides to take a dip into Tower of Hera. I wonder if TwoC is also going up to the top.
Yeah, like I said, I felt there was a gamble that Glan did go up it, but yeah, TwoC doing what I thought would be the fairly responsible thing to do is just check the first 2, see if there's a quick item down there, and then just leave. But he did get the big key, which could alter my mind. Which is probably why Glan did it, where if it was the small key instead of the big key, and the big key was downstairs, I can see Glen avoiding going up the tower. So yeah, right now I feel that depending on the hookshot location, or not the hookshot, the second bow location, if it's not in a very convenient place, 2C is just going to be at an increasing disadvantage.
Yeah, it does seem that way, and I can only imagine that after Turtle Rock, Glan is going to Eastern and Pod immediately.
Yeah, you'll be able to find like 11 items over in that side, being able to check the Hasarilla's closet along the way. So it seems like the most reasonable play to do after Turtle Rock. Like, I really can't see him going to Spike Cave after, since he has 4 crystal dungeons he can full clear. Where 2C has been more in the mindset of just kind of like full clear areas, so you don't ever have to come back. I can see 2C going over to Spike Cave after Turtle Rock. Boots messing with the Glan a little bit there. Trying to open the chest, but instead just kind of kicks up dust in its place. Happens to me a lot. Takes a roller to the face, but with the red mail, you can just kind of shrug it off.
Yeah, with the red mill, they're not that scary, honestly.
On the Quake. It was like Glan's weapon of choice for tackling these laser skips is just dashing with the boots.
I mean, Glan doesn't really have another way to do it at this point, I think.
Oh, that's right. Because the cape that 2C found was in Graveyard Ledge.
Yes, exactly.
I'm still not hitting that panic button of the red goo or relying on the fairy just to bring him back. Alright, one head down with a lot of magic remaining. And the second hit is always much faster to kill, seeing as how the fire rod actually deals damage to the ice head, where the ice rod does not deal damage to the fire head. Takes a death, but we'll see if the head is still unlocked for damage after the revival. And he gets them.
And as expected, Glan is heading over to the eastern pod area immediately, which makes a lot of sense considering all the items they can farm.
Yeah, it's a very high item density. I can see, depending on what situation you feel you're in, going to one of the other locations first to try and like gamble that the hookshot is there, just so you can just go mode these dungeons, but these ones don't really get any faster when you're in go mode. If the big key in pod is in the back, then it's pretty much a full clear no matter what. So these ones being the smartest ones to go to first as well, alongside just the sheer item density that they have there. TwoC taking a bit of damage trying to do the laser escapes, but he had his cape at the ready to guide him through the last two. Just trying to preserve a little bit more life for this boss fight. Alright, first item in the first half of pod. There can only be up to 2 non-small key items up front. Bluehead not playing nice for 2C. Moving around a lot. Alright, he has one more fire rod shot left to try and finish this head. He's being real patient to not miss.
Oh no, it seems like TwoC doesn't have enough magic.
Oh, that's right. Because the
That's rough.
Canis and Mario block the car. Said he's not going to try again and go somewhere else. Yeah, coming this way and going to the Dark World does mean he looks to be going to pod right now. With the massive rupees that TwoC had when he was turning in the mushroom, I'm kind of surprised he didn't go and stock up on a blue potion or two. Whereas the only other money we needed was for pod.
I think at that point it never crossed his mind that he was going to do Turtle Rock early. Because that was before his trip up the mountain. And probably felt comfortable with a red and a fairy.
Yeah, so not a whole lot here in a pod. No sword, no hookshot.
And in 2C's case, also no bow.
Oh, that's true. Kind of surprised TwoC didn't go and take that that fire rod and go over to ice rod or ice palace. But I guess that's also due to his lack of magic too for there. Actually quick swapped to the shovel before we get the 17th hit with the hammer. And with the red mill, just kind of walked into his face to hit him with the hammer for the last 4 hits after the mask comes off. And that's where the second bow is.
This is gonna hurt 2C even more.
Yeah, a bow-locked bow. Yeah, that is real bad news for 2C. I think the only time he'll probably be willing to go and do that is when he does find the hook shot, just because it does make going up the tower a little bit faster. But at that point, Glan will probably be in go mode, because he'd be getting the hook shot around the same time, I assume. Alright, so blue cane was another item inside of pod. It's a nice safety to have for later if you're not comfortable fighting Ganon, but the skill of these players, they won't even look at that blue cane for much else than maybe menuing purposes. Make it a little bit nicer. So imagine after here, TwoC is just gonna do the exact same thing Glan is, but without the bow for Eastern. Because you can find up to 3 items up in the front before being bow locked by the boss. Then with what he has, will lead him to Ice Palace. I don't know how many items he found in the front of Skullwoods, which is maybe why he came here, because there wasn't much left in Skullwoods for him to actually go back to, where he can probably just go mode it if he knew there was nothing else in there.
I think there's one item left because I think the only item to see pull out of Skullwoods was the mushroom. I'm not entirely sure on that.
There's a really clean Igor kill over on Glan's side. Going on the right side with the bow, and the Popoys decide to play nice and not get in his way for the arrow. The red Igor gets away from him. With the Stelphos was getting away from TwoC. The first boat is on top of Tower of Hera. So we're waiting for a 2C to finally head back up into Pendant Hera to find his bow, where the second bow was bow locked on Helmasaur. It looks like Glan is going straight into Ice Palace now. It's 3 items compared to 2. Ooh, where is TwoC going at this point? Looks like he's gonna...
Yeah, I think he's gonna go to Swamp.
I mean, at this point, he probably does feel behind from dying to Trinax. And his expedition to North Dark World didn't really pay off for much. And so this is a gamble he's willing to take. Maybe trying to hope for a hookshot here, which will lead him to where he has to go. Yeah, I agree with Chad with the bow locking bow being the only thing. It might be a while before 2C goes and gets the first one. Finds the first bow. Land with a nice bufferless icebreaker. Finding a whole lot of keys in Ice Palace. Glan with a beautiful bomb jump over the hole to good iced tea room. He's gonna bomb jump back over and then go check the big chest. TwoC not doing the bomb diver down. Or did he? No, he didn't. Oh, wait, he can't because he doesn't have hookshot, duh. You can, but it'd be of, like, no benefit. Because you can just dash
It'll
around the
only be
lobby.
Yeah, for the blue switch, but I don't think that saves any time at that point.
Glan making really good work at this hammer cold stare. Yeah, kind of just kept one ooh, and that's sword go mode left for Glan. This gamble into Swamp Palace is not paying off. So I feel after this, TwoC will go into Ice Palace and get that hook shot. But that'll just lead him back to Swamp. Yeah, TC's now going to go and fill up his potions. Little extra safety, maybe some little extra speed on Cold Stare. At this point, for Glan, it's just go mode for him, and then just check the chest along the way. Try and find a second sword.
Yeah, I don't think Glan is gonna go out of the way much to find that sword upgrade.
He's definitely not going to do left side swamp. Probably just going to go straight back. Probably check the statue room and like the 2 back chests in Skull Woods. And then probably just head up the Gans Tower and try and full clear that to try and find one. Glenn going a little bit more out of the way than I kind of expected him to. Searching the first two chests here. But I guess it's not that big of a time sink to blow open a wall and like 3 screen transitions. TwoC taking the other way to Iced Tea Room.
Glan on Argus with the fighter sword, which can sometimes be a little bit inconvenient, but it seems like Glan knows their way around this.
Yeah, you can actually do like double puff strats just like with the Master Sword. You just need to be like the right distance to actually hit both the puffs, because there's times where if you're a little bit too far away, one puff will be a little bit too far out of your range, and you'll only get one spin slash on them. And a quick silver arrow seals the deal. So TwoC not having a small key, doesn't have sword beams. I think you can actually do it with arrows instead of sword beams. I think I've heard that, but every single time I tested it out, it never worked for me, so he'll have to pop a blue potion immediately, but that'll give him magic for phase 2 of this boss. Just waiting for the explosions to finish so he can quick swap to the hammer, and takes it out. And collects his hook shot. Glan going to clear up his final crystal before heading to GT. Yeah, maybe that hook shot does make Tower of Hera more appealing now that you can hair pot it. But I feel like that'll come after he finishes Swamp Palace and Skullwoods. But I think going in that direction for up to 4 items. Well, up to 4 sounds just as good as, or better than doing like Smith Chain for 3. Glan going for the hammer strats on Mothula. And felt like Moth played fairly nicely with him today.
Yeah, beside the 2 hits at the end, like Glan was really doing well with the hammer strats, honestly.
Yeah, like Moth was staying kind of towards the middle on the right side rather than like top corners. That makes it a little bit more difficult to hit him with anything for that matter. Yeah, I guess since we do have all 7 crystals, we can do the Gens Tower Big Key guessing game. There's 22 locations that the Gens Tower Big Key can be in, and we want to know which one that is. I don't even know if he can start.
And there we go. So what's your guess, actually?
When I first started watching Rando, well, like 3 years ago, I think I'd always go for number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I would go for 8, the fire bar room, the Stelphos room.
Fair enough. For some reasons, for me, I always pick 9 or 14, no matter what the order is, so not to specific chests. So I'm gonna give it to 14 this time. Like, give them a little bit of a chance to find a sword in there. I mean, if anything, it could also be that Glan just goes to Hookshot Cave and find a sword there.
Yeah, that's true. There's 3 items in there along the way. That's very quick checks I can grab. No point in skipping this when you're already right here. Piece of heart. Half magic, that's a nice convenience item. And a full heart. Alright, TwoC now on the Argus fight, as well as doing the trying to get double puffs. Using Ice Rod for the second phase. I believe with the Ice Rod, if you actually line it up right, you can actually get all 4 shots in before he hops back up and just finish him on one go. With the Fire Rod, feels like he jumps up too fast when you hit him twice. Oh, and there's the Master Sword. So Glan is now in go mode at 108.26. And to be fair, I wasn't even counting the keys he found, so I think he's at 6 chests now.
He is indeed, yes.
Number 7, TwoC. Bring the big bomb. That's what I was mentioning earlier when they first got Dark World access. That the big bomb could come into play is something that could be huge for them. It was 9. Is that how it works? Congrats, Harm 9. You winning the big key guessing game, getting 17 points. Congratulations. At this point, it is just execution for Glan for the Gens Tower. Or TwoC has to decide where he wants to go after getting the second item off the boss in Skullwoods.
I mean, to be fair, after Skullwoods for 2C, there's not a lot of places to go. Eastern has been done so far as possible. Pot has been done so far as possible. There's no way to dip into either Mire or Desert at this point. So I don't think there's a lot left for 2C after this.
Yeah, just the Smith chain hammer pegs and then back up to the mountain.
And Glan with his NMG experience, like dashing through this GT like it's nothing.
Yeah, he's making really good progress in a lot of the dungeons here. And having no fear, knowing his limits for some of the places. Obviously, the red mail does help, but he hasn't really gone out of his way for extra safeties. As like in Turtle Rock, he was down to like 1.5 hearts. In Thieves Town, he's down to 1 heart or 2 hearts, and didn't slow down his pace at all. It felt like. Three quick spin slashes and Moldorm 2 is down. Yeah, 2C running out of Skullwoods. Looks like he is going to go do the Smith chain now. Some weird patterns for Ega 2, but still made it through pretty quickly.
Nice double hit on the trident right there from Glan.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I try and practice that every time I'm fighting him, and I can never get that double slash on the first after the text box. Like, it's slightly unfortunate that he doesn't have cape, but at the same time, he also doesn't have any magic potions to just make this slightly faster. But given the pattern he has now, he'll be quickly onto phase 3. And I believe he still does have a red potion in hand. Ooh, slightly out of range. Yeah, TwoC did everything in the lower world, so all he has left is up on Death Mountain. Nice double. One more silver arrow.
And that is GG for Glan.
Alright, get your GGs for Glan. That is the first win for Team Moyai in the playoffs here.
Yes, and we have an official race time of 1:16:23. And by the looks of it, unfortunately, 2C decided to forfeit, which I don't blame him for.
Yeah, being this far behind when you last location, pretty much go mode items. It's you really don't want to go back to complete, 1, 2, 3, 4 more dungeons. We're gonna try to get both the runners into interview.
And while we wait for the runners to join us, because I believe they're both gonna join us. While we wait, we can well shout out the runners, like follow them on their streams. They are good runners, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't be in the playoffs right now. So they're great runners. I also want to shout out the tracker, 2D Tones for tracking. You're doing hard work. Never forget that. I always feel like trackers are underrated. And there we have our runners. GG's to the both of you. First of all, Glenn, how do you feel about that seed? Like, it seems like it went all your way, like the whole way through.
Yeah, I guess there are a couple things I just wish I'd done differently. Should have gone to Death Mountain earlier, I guess. I felt like I had a lot of weird execution mistakes too, but it was fine overall.
Yeah, for the commentary booth, it looked like your execution actually very good. Obviously, with a time of 1:16, it was a jet seed. But part of that is due to how well your execution is and how much you know your limits to know when to use and when to not use safeties.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing the game for a while, so I like to think I have a decent idea.
Yeah. Yeah, the seed was pretty good, I would say. I guess the bow, from what I've heard, was in a really bad spot. So
Yeah,
I don't know if I would have gotten that bow, to be honest. But after what happened on Try Next, I just did whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest.
yeah. So for the most part, the early game, the Light World section of the game, you guys were pretty much neck and neck, doing pretty much exactly the same thing. At the hammer point, once you had Dark World access, Glan started up atop at Thieves Town, where you started down at a Hype Cave, worked your way on over. Not really paying off. You got the big safety boost in Red Mail before Glan did, but Glan still finished Thieves Town just fine. And then from there, you continued on to Skull Woods, North Dark World, where Glan just went straight at the mountain. Then I did feel that Tower of Hera going up it is a slight gamble because it's pendant, but at the same time, it's not too far out of the way to get up to 2 items. But I feel your decision to not go up Tower of Hera was probably because you didn't have the hookshot to just Hera pot to grab the items even faster. Then where the hookshot was pretty much Glan's go mode outside the sword. And I feel at that point you were probably not going to go back just to do Hera pot, then try next for a second time for 1 item.
Yeah, I mean, if I completed TR, I think I would have gone to Spike Cave then Ice Palace. So if I found the hookshot, then maybe I will go up the mountain again, because like hookshot cave. And then I could potentially think of a Hera pot at that point. That's usually what I like to do if I have to revisit the mountain. But yeah, I don't know. Like, as I said, like I try to maybe go to places where either the hookshot or the bow might not really be in a good place, because like you might not really be considering visiting those places, like pod without bow or even swamp without hookshot.
Yeah. After that Trenix said he did go there. It's a big dense location too, so that's one reason to go there. And then, yeah, at that point, I felt you felt behind, like even more so. And so that's why you gambled Swamp Palace, I feel, before going to Clearable Ice Palace.
Yeah, to be honest, I should have gone to Swamp first, and then maybe consider going to pod and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. As I said, like I wasn't really thinking that much.
But don't worry, this is only game 1 of Best of 5 series. Your teammates Krillbell and the other commentator here, Wired Wiki, have their matches to go, and if either one wins, you can show yourself on the stage again if your team chooses that.
Yeah, we'll see. Team Oya is definitely like a really strong team from our group, so hopefully my teammates will give them some nice races.
So then, what we pointed out, do you guys have any more comments on the seeds, or anything you thought was a little more interesting about this than not?
Was there like a sword in GT or something?
We only know where the second sword was.
Right side GT.
Nice. Yeah, okay. Then the sea was actually pretty nice indeed. Potentially that could have been a nice thing for me. Maybe a sword being in a really bad spot, but yeah, other than that, nicely done from Glan, and GG once again.
Thank you. GG.
I think with that, Don, do you have any final words?
I do not. Just GG's. Thank you again for the restreamer, tracker, and you as the other commentary guest, host. I don't know what to say. But
Yeah, co-commentator.
everyone that's here, that's to put this all together for everyone to enjoy. There's a lot of races going on with the tournament nearing its end, and they wanted to restream as much as possible. So glad to be here to support everyone.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And once again, thanks for co-commentating this with me. I had a lot of fun. And with that, it is for us time to close off. Do we know if there are other matches happening today?
I'm looking at it now, and this is the final match of today. The next match will be tomorrow at 2:10 p.m. EST. It'll be Seba Castlevania Lollipop Chain Reaction versus Oops de War Ace Knee. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Oops is not there either. With Shiva Haze versus Death King 2. I don't know exactly what positions they're playing, so I don't know what game mode that is.
It's gonna be open, I think. Open, so they're the Courage players, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so it'll be the Courage players for tomorrow, starting off the day. Oh, there's two in the Invitational League. I must be looking at only the Open. I thought they consolidated to show both of them.
Let me actually quickly check. Yes, we have at, let's see, at 10 p.m. Yeah, at 10 p.m. EST, we have Team Kappa versus Team Tau Roomies on SpeedGaming 3. Gamachu will be playing Hazuketi, and on 10 p.m. we have Did You Check Your Boots versus WJP DTB. And then Wolfjig versus JP will be playing on SpeedGaming 2, so definitely check those matches out. Invitational League is such a blast to watch.